Hey there. I'll just sit here thinking of a few quick points that I wanted to express. Um, with the nature of what's happening, and even the fact that it's so widespread and it's a globally felt silent conspiracy that's occurring, that's so difficult to talk about. The thought had occurred to me, um, given that this is networked gang stalking activity. I imagine that it's all kind of has a central hub, or a core component, and from there the facilitation of making it a widespread networked gang stalking event would be the coerced help of gang stalkers throughout the world, people that conduct this gang stalking activity that have the ability to remotely and nearly monitor people. um, that's networked, and gang stalking activity in and of itself is a toxicity within many institutions as well as many authorities. There's many levels of authority that are involved in this type of harassment. It's a Luciferian, toxic problem with authorities in the world anyway. So prior to this whole human rights violation and privacy invasion harassment beginning, it was all kind of just cornered on this networked conspiracy of gang stalking activity, which would include harassment, um, body manipulation with direct energy weapons, that sort of thing. All the things intended to make a targeted individual ruin their lives, orchestrate problems within it, and it's made super easy with this remote neural monitoring and this network that they've established by coercing these gang stalkers. And because of who they are, authority figures, things like that, it makes it harder for this type of thing to actually be prosecuted against or to bring an end to. um, that's kind of scary to think, right? Like, say like you're aware of what's occurring, like I am. Think about this. Think about the authorities neurally monitoring you. Somebody who has the ability to see your thoughts, see all of your actions, know where you're at geographically, and know what you're doing and what you've been up to in the past, even by digging through your subconscious. That's scary to think that they have that type of leverage over an individual. I would imagine if somebody gets a little too woke, they will enact proactive policing to silence them, to discredit them, to orchestrate life situations to make them look less than credible. Um, Certainly, slander is a problem that's occurring through this remote neural monitoring and the synthetic telepathy. The rise of AI has made it a very big, rampant problem in terms of voice cloning. They want it to be a cluttered, confusing harassment device, but ultimately, I think we can bypass this by using the app's QE, like I've determined. I don't even believe that the app was even made for that reason, but I seem to have found an ulterior use of the app SKUI. It doesn't really block out the V2K like I thought it would. Instead, it just amplifies this synthetic telepathy that we're all hearing all the time. They seem to heighten up the harassment at nighttime and lower it during the day in intensity to create that cognitive dissonance to make us let our guard down. And for many people, maybe make them feel as if they can tune it out and they can be themselves. They're hoping that we do this. They're hoping that we let our guards down and we just behave normally, and then they can bookend and add context to any behaviors or thought or action that we have to bookend it, to use it against us. They're ultimately trying to set a lot of people up for failure in the future. Many people who are in denial of this occurrence and don't want to speak about it and just don't see a need to be different than how they were. Sometimes people are too much of themselves, and that's a problem. But they're ultimately trying to orchestrate a lot of localized issues, like that all comprise a bigger, large-scale catastrophe, is what I see happening. And many people are just blind to it, or asleep, or in denial, and that will not serve them well in the future, I don't think. I think creating a dialogue about this immediately in our own way is the only productive and conducive way to move forward with this type of thing occurring, to make peace with the fact that this shit is not going to really go away unless we talk about it. And that's what they're hoping that we don't do. So just keep it in perspective that there's a bigger picture, and we can make it through if we start a dialogue, but we can't just silently suffer during this shit and expect it to ever improve on any account. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be an uphill battle, and I'm sure all of us, and those who don't possess foresight, I'm sure they can feel the air of the world being strange and unusual. Nothing's the same. People are hollow seeming. They're quite literally becoming mentally ill and damaged as a result of this sort of harassment that they're being forced to be silent about. So it's creating a big, huge problem with like I kind of seem to indicate that like a mental health epidemic is going to be imminent, and there might not be resources to help the people that need it, who are traumatized from the abuse and just don't have a peaceful state of mind, who've had their sense of calm and security ripped from them. Those are the people who are not going to be handling this well, who need to start seeking help, who are perhaps maybe nudged not to do so because they feel as if it would be taboo to bring this up, or they would be deemed crazy to point out the obvious. That's why I like to think I've found proof through the app Skewy. I would urge anybody to download Skewy, and to give you a quick rundown of how to use it, you hit ultrasonic sound, and then hit monitor the mic. You'll be amazed at what you hear. It picks up the synthetic telepathy wonderfully. But if there's any questions about that, you can reach out. But just start talking about this shit. If you're experiencing it and you're pretty damn sure somebody else around you is, which is pretty easy to indicate that this is occurring, just start a dialogue. The worst thing that can happen is somebody gaslight you. And like I said before in another video, just pull out Skewy and say, why do I hear your thoughts through my phone, through synthetic telepathy? And then I highly doubt that they'll have a good answer for that. But expect that many people don't want to talk about things they've done in the past that were brought up through this remote neural monitoring, things they may have been led to do that they maybe normally would not have done. People in the world are not the same. Nobody functions normally anymore. Things are way less gratifying. They're hoping that we lose hope and that we give up and we kill ourselves. That they're trying to drive people to suicide. These are some Luciferian pieces of shit that are guided by the devil himself. So never forget that this is a Luciferian conspiracy, but God is real. So anyway, God bless everybody, and hit me up if you need to validate this occurrence. I would be speaking to you just like I'm speaking to this camera on my phone right now. So later on.